Hello, I'm Mark Darby, and I welcome you to this session of yoga instruction. I'm teaching basically from the Ashtanga method, even though whatever I teach you can be transferred to any yoga practice. That's because I'm working internally. And one of the ways that we can work internally is actually with Drishti. So we want to start looking with Drishti and understanding how Drishti works. So it's, I'm really more concerned with the Drishti in when we're moving. You know, as a different Drishti point when we're moving to what it is when we're actually in the posture, even though sometimes it corresponds. But in Drishti, we want to look at it as a way of entering a posture, moving through a posture, as Olympic people do, or divers, gymnasts. When they're moving, their eyes are what leads them as they spin and revolve in the air. So they're using their eyes to lead their bodies to where they want to go. So one of the most important points of the Drishti in Ashtanga is when we're doing the vinyasa, doing Surya Namaskar, we're following the thumbs up with the eyes. And from this motion of the eyes going up, we follow, and our head will follow at the same time. So we have the head going up, so when we finally looking up, the neck is long. So this is one of the key things with Drishti, is this idea of being able to look as we go up. When we go forward, if we take the eyes down, so when I'm doing a forward bend from standing or whatever it is, my first movement is the eyes. The eyes go down. Fingers will then move, and then the hand and the body will follow. So we continue to go down, maintaining what we've talked about before with the three dantyans. So we have to understand we have the three dantyans that stay connected, and if they stay connected, the eyes will create a movement and the body will follow. It's very simple. If we just sit there and you can get a feeling of what the eyes are doing and how it affects the body by just looking to the left or look to the right. And if you're relaxed, you feel that your body follows. If you're not relaxed and you stay still, you still feel the muscles resisting. You feel the resistance against the movement of wanting to turn. So this is how you can use the eyes to lead you in and out of a posture. So it's very, very important. What I'm creating is the movement of inhale. So we follow the hands up, and exhale, the eyes come down. So this is what I'm working with. So no matter what posture it is, I'm creating this movement. So whatever I'm talking about, postures in the transitions. So if I'm going to do Surya Namaskar, I follow the hands up. When I'm coming forward, the eyes go down, the fingers go forward, and I follow. But my head has actually come down with it. I haven't kept the head back and just take the eyes down, because that'll block. The head has to stay in alignment with the dantyans. There's respect of the dantyans and the connection between the three dantyans. So if we do this and look down, the chin will come in slightly, and then we'll fold forward and basically reach down. In Trini, we lengthen and we take the eyes forward. We don't do this with the head to look up, we just take the eyes forward. Again, if we were doing Surya Namaskar, so it'd be with an imaginary arm reaching out. And then we immediately look down and then jump back to Chaturanga. And so on and so forth. So we ask Helen to come in. The first thing is we come to Samastiti, we make sure everything's in, and then as she lifts up, she's looking at her thumbs, and the hands come up, and you can see how the neck stays long and follows. Next movement, the eyes will go down, the fingers will go forward, and you can see straight away, as soon as she takes the eyes down, the head goes forward, chin comes in. And this is the initiation of the movement of reaching forward. Ribs in, and then she comes down. Now here, the hands stay on the floor, but here's the imaginary arm, and I'll leave an imaginary arm coming out, and she's following the arm up. From there, she looks down, and then jumps back. So this imaginary arm going out, coming down. Now she was looking at the floor, she comes to Chaturanga, and I'll let her drop to her knees. But here, before she comes up, the imaginary arm. So here we are here, another arm is here, here it comes up, and she comes up following this hand. And then to downward dog, the hand goes forward, and that initiates the move going back. So this is how Drishti will work in Surya Namaskar, this following of the imaginary arm, always the inhale up, exhale down. And so the eyes are leading you from one posture to the other. Now she come forward, she'll look down to connect to lower down, and then come forward, and here's the arms up, and then Ashto, come down. And then now she can actually look at the thumbs and follow the hands up, Samasthiti. Coming into Utkatasana, the inhale, she comes down and brings her head down. So again, she looks at the floor and then follows the hands up. So this will allow the spine to lengthen. It will allow energy to come to the head and the sitting bones, very safe on the spine, but very energetic. Then eyes go down, lower abdomen comes in, and then she lifts and folds forward. So we get this connection to the dantian all the time. And then again, we lengthen out. Eyes go forward, eyes come down, and then jump back, chaturanga. And we'll continue with Surya Namaskar. Inhale, arm goes up. So she went a little quick, so we'll do it again. So here, she's looking down, and then here comes the hand forward as she comes up. And it keeps the integrity of the neck. Eyes go down to downward dog. Now she'll step forward for Virabhadrasana. And we'll show you the Drishti here. So she steps, separating the feet, coming forward, bending the leg, reaching. And now she looks at the hands, reaches the hands forward and follows the hands up. And this will give alignment to the whole body, from the feet to the fingertips, and keep the dantian. Then eyes down, follow the hands into chaturanga. And here's a little, she comes down. I'm just going to slow her down. Now she comes up, so the head doesn't go back so quick. And then down into downward dog. And we might as well do the other side. Step forward, come forward, look down at the fingers, reach forward, come up. And so the eyes lengthen. Exhale, look down at the hands, go back. Lower into chaturanga again, slowly. Now come up. And now down. So we now get the motions. Should stay there 5 breaths. Here the gaze, they say to look at the navel. Be careful if you're going to look at the navel, because if you lower this too much to look, you're going to collapse in the back. So you want this to stay open. So the movement would come either from the ears and you lower, or even better still, from a hyoid bone. You just bring a hyoid bone and close the chin so it keeps the neck open. It keeps this open here, which means the lungs can expand. Okay, so be careful of the drishti of the navel. Too many people really go down like this, and it messes up what's happening here in the upper body. So it needs to be here, here, and then the upper back opens, becomes very receptive to the breathing. Still push the sitting bones up. Good. After 5 breaths, inhale, come forward, down. Then the eyes come up again, just the eyes. And then exhale, look down, lower the head. And again, Utkatasana, fingers follow the hands up. Sweet, and continue. Inhale up, now exhale, Samasthiti. And we'll show you more Drishti points in the postures where they should be. But just I'll get Helen to come back again. If we're looking at a spinal twist, I'll get a point to come. She's going to lift the hand up here. This is basically what's happening. She takes the hand and reaches and see how her arm went back. But now see what happens when she comes here, looks at her hand, and now follows the hand with her eyes as she does the twist. So you keep reaching and the eyes go around. See how easy that is for the twist? She didn't know I was going to do that. But the hand's up here. She looks, reaches and follows, and the body automatically follows the twist. The body just follows, and so it loses a lot of attention. The body makes the twisting much easier, right? Mm-hmm. Much better. So that's what we're looking for, spinal twist. So anywhere where you take the hand we want to follow. And it's like this, you're reaching, and the body wants to follow the hand, no matter where it goes. Back. It's beautiful. When I'm coming out of a posture, I'll come up from reverse triangle. When I want to come to Samasthiti, I look at the hand, and so it becomes almost like Tai Chi in a way, that I'm coming in and going and connecting with prana. So hopefully this helps you out in Drishti. In the movement of Drishti, we're looking at following the hands down, sideways. Wherever we want to go, we follow the hand and let our bodies follow comfortably with the Drishti. In the yoga posture, it's something else. Then we want to keep the eyes still. If we're looking in, say, in Virabhadrasana, and we're looking at the hand, we keep the gaze there. Come up, and then we'd look the other way. Come down, but we're looking directly at the hand to keep a focus, staying for 5 breaths. Paschimottanasana and forward bends. Interesting is that if we're observing the anatomy trains, which is the action of following chi through the body and energy of connective tissue, we don't want to lift the head like this because it will create a block which actually makes a flat back, a back bend. It doesn't maintain the forward bend. So ideally we want to keep looking down. And in actual fact, when I asked Pattabhi Jois, where should I look in Paschimottanasana, he said, look down. But it's common knowledge that they say, look at the toes. This is where I would be up, look down at the toes, and then come forward, but I keep looking down, following. This is movement, following Surya Namaskar, hands coming down. And this way I connect to the lower dantian. So, there. Now, and I believe Sharat said this, you don't have to see the toes in the posture, but the direction of the gaze is at the toes. If I'm here, I'm still maintaining the anatomy trains, but now my gaze is going towards my toes. So I'm actually creating a looking up. Okay. But if I'm doing that in the posture, when I come out of the posture, I'll look down to connect to lower dantian and then come back up. Okay. So be aware the Drishti is a very sweet practice to work with Drishti, but understand in movement in the Drishti is different to what's actually in the posture. It could be the same, but allow for this difference and understand that the movement is always inhale, look up, exhale, look down. So we have these imaginary arms, upward facing dog, inhale, downward dog, eyes down. And this action of Drishti will connect you to dantian, or it'll bring energy into your head. Sweet. Hopefully this helps you out. Thank you very much.